Hey guys, Luxker here. Welcome back to Xenosaga Pied Piper fan recreation. Last time, we got a lot of abilities for our party members and destroyed Garm right in front of the apartment building that Klaus is supposedly in. This time, we will go into that apartment to pursue him. So going into this building right here, it's a little bit dilapidated as we can plainly see here. We got some macrophages as well, just scattering about. Let's go ahead and fight it. Whoop. So yeah, these are basically the same macrophages that we fought before. Since we have satellite now, being able to take them out is basically cake in general. Let's go ahead and showcase that. You can see right here. But yeah, the satellite one just destroys them right here. Alright. It was victorious. Everybody's level 17. Alright, so let's go ahead and go up the stairs right here. So, when we have Jan out right here, we have these traps just scattered about, so we want to basically take extra precautions here. Basically, this is yet another area where you basically have to make use of Jan and Lactus because, as you can see right up here, there's a hidden chest. So, right here is a metal cross. Basically this area, you want to basically use, both Jan and Lactus just interchangeably, just to even get through here. Just want to remind you. As well as bugs to be able to destroy some of these, things over here. Yep, right here. Well, okay, well, you can't basically destroy that guy. So another thing that these enemies can do, actually, another way to see traps in this area is to have enemies just go over them and basically destroy them. They'll basically get stopped in their tracks, basically, so it's really helpful to be able to have here. Let's go ahead and see what that metal cross is. The metal cross is a necklace right here. This charges up your BP way faster and when you attack by 25%. I'm gonna go ahead and equip that on Jan because he has a pretty powerful special attack, and we definitely want to use him much more often here. I'm gonna go in and out of here just to respawn that enemy. So when going back down, actually, the traps that the enemy despawned at will actually allow you to go through here. So a nice little tip that you can just basically do. Anyways, so I'm just gonna say this outright. This area is basically kind of the same thing over and over again. It's kind of like how this was designed in the original game, just having to go upstairs often on. So for now, I want to go ahead and talk about yet another character, which is Melis. She's a character who mainly focuses on having really high ether attack and EP, and using those stats to her advantage. Her main weaknesses is not having a lot of HP and attack power to be able to survive hits much, and not really use her physical attacks to her advantage. She not only can learn a lot of ether attacks such as Medica and Beam Bowl while leveling up, her skills make her more flexible in what kinds of ether types she can use. We already know that the 4 elemental types in Pied Piper are Fire, Ice, Thunder, and Beam. 3 skill trees make her learn all of those ether types, but they cost a lot of SP to use. The way to have her be more efficient with these ether skills is to learn all the weak elemental attacks for Fire, Ice, and Electric for one enemy, and then for multiple enemies at the next turn. Then focus on the skill trees that focus on Melis getting ether attack and EP growth boosts. Firebolt and Lightning Bolt trees provide just those stat boosting increases. The top skill tree is just incredibly useless because the only ether that's in that tree are Goodbye, Refresh, and Ether Well. All that Goodbye does is give you a guaranteed runaway from a fight, which you don't get experience for. Refresh cures all allies of status inflictions, which Lactus already uses just fine, and he learns that move from one of his skill trees anyways, and is much more useful for that matter. And Ether Well is a gradual EP restoring ether, which the Kojic Neck can do the same thing anyways, and you can only use it on yourself, which is not remotely helpful anyways. The only other skills Melis can learn in this tree are practically useless to her other than plus 10 ether attack, which you would need to use SP on 2 skills to use it anyways. Overall, Melis' skill trees with how big they are make her pretty limited to what she can be capable of, and she is not super good until further down in the skill trees. Oh, I love you, Melis, but man, I wish you could be more useful early on. Okay, I think this is a good place to go back here. So I actually want to talk about stuff that was in the OG version of Pied Piper, and that's an enemy that's called a Czar. They have a really cool, like, knife that they hold in their sprite, and it's honestly just really cool just to be able to have them use that item, so really cool, enemy from the original version. Another big change in the OG version compared to the fan recreation is that the elevator that you just saw from just going through these floors here, you can actually go inside them and they actually take you on a brand new path. You don't actually need to take the normal path like I'm taking right now in the original version. So when you go into that elevator, you actually have to fight a gauntlet of enemies without even healing in between. It's basically like that until you get to the very top. And you can go into the elevator on any floor you want and just start the gauntlet from there, which is even cooler in general. This is probably the part where I can just give more credit to the OG version but compared to the fan recreation, as it is much faster to just beat the enemies on the elevator as a whole, instead of having to go through like all these enemies just on each floor and just having to avoid traps and stuff. So it's just really useful in general. Here we got a Gustav armor. I'm gonna go ahead and go around here. I think I missed a chest, a hidden chest on this floor somewhere. Let me see where it is. Is it right here? Yes, it is. Okay. Right here is a booster pack. If you use it in battle, you get a guaranteed strong attack from that, or just a regular boost as well. So it's really helpful to use just to be able to finish off a boss when you eventually do use it. So as you can see right here, everybody's at level 17. I actually want to go ahead and have more people learn more skills here. So right here, Jan can learn the defensive skill, just to make him much more of a support character like I already said before. Lactus, actually I definitely want to have to give him more skills here. I'm going to have him learn Refresh, and I want him to learn the HP 100 skill. For Bugs, let's go ahead and have him learn this HP 100 skill right here. We're very close to learning B-Axe, just gonna have 10 more SP to get that right there. So, although I will say, going through these floors right here really remind me a little bit of Sky Tower from Pokemon, like Pokemon Emerald and like the Gen 3 games. I don't know, because like going through this area just really reminds me of just going through all that stuff. Just going through mazes and stuff, having to avoid traps at here and there and stuff. So it really reminds me of that kind of era of like mazes in like a handheld game basically. So we got like one more maze right here to get through. That's a Babcos. That's another weapon for Bugs. Or actually that's armor. Babcos, like Cosmos or Cosmos, or like Xenoblade 2 calls it Cosmos and stuff. And hey, buddy, are you gonna move? Buddy! Alright, whatever. Just skip the encounter, why not? I don't think there's anything else right here, actually. Going up these stairs, do not go up these stairs, actually, because that actually takes you to the boss fight. Instead, I want to go ahead and go into this room right here. Because if you go into this control panel, we activate the elevator right here. So this elevator becomes activated when you use it. So now if we go over to this elevator right now, we are able to go up and down the elevator whenever we want to. So really nice to be able to like fast travel and go up to the top and stuff. And it's a nice way of going back down here to heal at this save point right here. I still don't get why they're still called save points. Why can't they just be called healing points in this game? But whatever. I'm not the designer of the original Pied Piper, honestly. Alright, let's go up this elevator again. Alright. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and go up the stairs. Thank goodness! We made it just in time! You're Klaus Torres, aren't you? There's no way out. Come quietly. Captain, this is dangerous! A macrophage. Not just any macrophage, we have Egil! And interesting black screen as well, just out in the darkness right here. Well, we're fighting in the darkness anyways right here. Let's go ahead and confiscate here, and we get a Gustav ring. Really a nice little thing right here. So Egil is a pretty interesting enemy to discuss in general. It's very weak to electric attacks, but resistant to thunder and beams, so keep that in mind right here. I'm gonna go ahead and use Thunderbolt 1 on you. Basically, like any other kind of boss we fought before. Now, we can have Jan use defensive now instead of Bugs, because Jan is much faster than Bugs right now for some reason. And now we can actually have Bugs do his regular ether attacks for once and not just be supportive. I'm actually... Yeah, I'm going to use B-Shot on you. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So, Egil, let's see one of his attacks. Yes. So he can actually solidify party members, and it can make them not use ether attacks. And unfortunately, he had to use it on Jan right here. So it's a good time to actually show off Refresh right here, which gets rid of bad status infliction. So Jan is no longer muted right now. So when we get to Jan's turn, he can go ahead and buff us some more. I'll use Lightning right here. So Lightning 1 right here. And then we can just use Balance. Okay, we're good. So, Egil is actually not based on a mythological figure at all, actually. He's actually based on a real Icelandic poet and a warrior named Egil Skallagrimsson. He created war poetry throughout his life, but he was also a farmer, sorcerer, and berserker. He is well known in Scandinavian culture for the birth of Nordic lyrical poetry as well. And being the first to use end rhyme in Old Norse verses too. So he's based that Norse mythology background kept to him too. So yeah, it's very interesting that he's just not like any other like character or like Norse character in that regard. He's actually based off of a real person. So really cool thing in general. That's not just based off of mythological figures. It's kind of like where Egil from Xenoblade 1 got his name too. Is just is just from that alone. I am gonna use Recover HP. I'll do that on Bugs. Yeah, I'll do that on Bugs. Because I don't really have much yet Jan can really do right now. I will go ahead and Thunderbolt 1 you. We're pretty much good here. Let's go ahead and use Jackal 1. I haven't been using Jackal 1 on Lactus a whole lot lately. I probably should do that more. Using Solidification right here. Yeah, so you can't, even though you can't even use Ethers right here, which is what Mute does, you can't even use Text either, so yeah, I'm just gonna have to do that until we get to Lactus's turn. Alright, do this right here. Our ether defenses are back to normal, so let's go ahead and refresh again. Really useful to have refresh learned here too, so just for being able to take care of this easily. You know what, actually? I'm gonna go ahead and use the booster pack on Jan's turn here to finish off Egil. So as the booster pack shows right here, Jan's BP is now at 2. So let's go ahead and penetrate right here. Ah, not quite. And we can't booster him too until a few more turns. Okay, Lactus can't do anything right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and attack it. Oh shoot! Oh well, I guess we couldn't really beat it anyways. So with that, so I guess not more experience we go there. Right there is a white fragment that we got from Egil. Fun fact, actually, knowing about the Icelandic poet Egil Skallagrimsson. This could be based off of Egil's silver treasure that he got during his travels as well. Right there we got what did we get again? I didn't see right there from that Jan learned. Well, we'll learn that a little bit though. Alice learned Beam Bolt too. That's really useful to have. So really cool thing that we got there. Stop resisting. The space is sealed off. You're under arrest for unauthorized access to the UMN and manipulation of consciousnesses through the UMN. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Torres, do you understand what you're saying? Oh, I understand the words you're speaking and the words he's speaking. Who's he? By he, are you referring to Voyager? He wants blood, and not just any blood, the blood of the holy angels. Blood? Why? Only those who have inherited the holy blood are allowed to approach him. That is his will, and that blood flows through me as well, even as the family outcast, even I. Captain, this man is in a dangerous state of mind. Step away from him. Wait, Melis! I will go to the Promised Land. I will follow his commands. The Promised Land? The place where no one is ever rejected. A place where no one hates me, even if I'm myself. Those goodwill ambassador children should have arrived by now. Just as I thought. You two are with Voyager. Captain, be careful. Suicide in virtual space also means death in real space. I'll leave it now. Hey, there's no need to envy me. You should have already received a ticket there too. All that's there left is to wait for him to cut the ticket. Yes. You look like you have the necessary qualities. Hey, wait! We'll meet again someday. Again. Letting someone die again. Captain? Do you think that man was Voyager, Captain? I don't think so. Didn't you hear it too? It was just another person being used by Voyager. What do you think? I agree. From what we know of Voyager's behavior so far, he wouldn't just take his life like that when cornered. Oh yeah, and speaking of an operator's perspective, no matter how talented Klaus was, I doubt he could have hacked into the ship's party alone. But isn't Klaus the son of the Torres Foundation's president? Isn't it more likely that he had inside knowledge of the Foundation? It's been almost 10 years since Klaus was cast out from the Torres family. Given his past behavior, he was likely kept far away from any sensitive Foundation data. And besides, when the virtual space was rewritten, the trace logs showed clear signs of third-party interference. I had a hunch Voyager's presence was in pattern of that interference. Just a gut feeling, though. Intuition? Huh. Well, that hunch of yours may actually be correct. Huh? Just as Mikhails pointed out, the way that virtual space was constructed is identical to the one used when the Goodwill ambassadors were trapped. He only managed to construct the trap because he already analyzed the logic behind the program during the prior case. Only those involved in that case could have used the same methods and approach. That means it's either us or the real culprit. Could Voyager be one of the virtual space's developers? We've looked into that already. There were no trace of any involvement from the authorized developers in the records. The most likely scenario is that someone who was involved in the Goodwill Ambassador incident leaked information about the virtual space's construction methods to Klaus. And that someone was probably Voyager. If only we could have questioned Klaus. When he ended his life, all the information he knew was deleted. We've lost our only key witness! And now we're back to square one. Dead man tell no tales. He was just a small-time crook, used and tossed aside. No, we can't say that for sure. What? A small-time crook? No. I mean, we could dive into Klaus's body, while his brain cells still hold the memories. Dive into a corpse? Is that even possible? Yes. If the body is well preserved within 48 hours of death, it's possible. Diving into a corpse is illegal, and it's far too dangerous. It might be dangerous, sure, but if it's our only lead, then we have no other choice.